It's really exciting to finally come out of the grief of losing your old self, the self that was constantly pushing you to fix yourself, to be more, to do more, to be perfect, or to just live to please others. The old self that you mistook for who you really are. You may still sometimes feel the bitterness of that loss because it's a loss after all. But it's exciting to be out of that dark tunnel. It may still not feel that high, happy, certain, or even clear, but it's definitely much more peaceful and lighter than where you were before. It's more like being at the end of that dark tunnel. You can see the light, but the light is kind of blinding you and you can't quite see clearly yet. If you are in that stage, then you resonate with what I am telling you right now. I don't know how many of us choose to go through this process of losing our old self and stepping into new ways of being and living, but I know many of us, including me, were forced to go through this process. But whether you were forced or you chose to be here, getting at the end of this tunnel was never the matter of making it happen. It was always the matter of allowing it to happen. And our biggest effort to get here was just to stop fighting our calling, fighting our path, fighting all the ways that life was trying to wake us up. As we live our lives, we create an image or a concept of ourselves that is based on our past experiences, others' expectations, the roles that we take throughout our lives. And that image gradually replaces our true self. And we have this old self that we think is who we are, and we lose touch with our true essence. When we are called to remember who we are and live from our soul, often things start to fall apart in our lives. I've talked about that in the Messy Middle video. If you haven't watched that video, you can find the link in the comments. Hopefully, I won't forget to leave the link in the comments. When we are called, we have one choice to make. We can keep fighting with the calling and then live in constant inner struggle, or we can accept the calling and let go of the old self we have already outgrown and step into new ways of living and being. But if we are being really honest with ourselves, before all of that happens, we weren't really happy. Many of us felt trapped and stuck in the life that we had created for ourselves. So maybe in the soul level, we wanted things to fall apart because our soul was looking for a way out of this cage we had built around it and called it I or me, which is our old self. I had to go through a lot of losses before I understand that. First, I lost my home country, and then I lost touch with almost all of my family members, relatives, friends, and then I lost my corporation job as an engineer. I had to go through all of that to realize that that people pleaser isn't me, that overachiever isn't me, that critic isn't me, that fixer isn't me, and gradually find more and more who I am. When instead of fighting, you honor the stage you are in and you zoom out a little bit and become more honest about how you really felt in your old life, being your old self, then you start to feel a sense of peace that you didn't have before. And that sense of peace is the biggest sign that your new self is being born. And being born is not completely accurate because nothing is really being born. You are just rediscovering your true self because your true self is always there. It's the foundation of your being. No one and nothing can touch it, can ruin it, can break it. It's always there. And as you are rediscovering your true self, as you are remembering your true self, you may find yourself craving for more space, more silence, more authenticity. You may want less noise, less distractions, less pretending. And in that stillness, you will experience some moments of, I can say, unexpected clarity. And in those moments, you feel present, you feel more real, you feel more alive. You gradually you start to mm, that have that urge to talk more honestly, to move more freely, to just stop living to please others, stop living in constant reaction to people and situations. And as you are going through this process, you still not may still not be in that like all the way to the certain knowing, but you are much further away from who you used to be. So you may still sometimes fall back into your old way of being and want to fit yourself in your old life. But that's okay. Give yourself some grace. Soon you will realize that it's not going to work anyway. And gradually you lose that desire to go back to your old self, to your old life. And you start to feel at peace with not fully knowing who you really are. And you don't rush to be someone that you can describe to others and get them to approve it. What really helped me at that stage were, again, practices that grounded me. I did a lot of nature walks, short but frequent meditations throughout the day, and journaling. For you, it may be breathing exercises, meditation, yoga, even music, listening to music, whatever that helps you ground yourself and prevents you from falling back into a trap of wanting to go back. And as it's just like this stage is like a waiting period while you are not really waiting for anything. You are just struggling less and flowing more with life. And as you are flowing, as you are going with whatever that it is right now, you may find some new interest, or you may rediscover the things that you used to enjoy. You start to doing them again and enjoy them. One of the things that helped me again was making some changes to my home and to my environment that helped me maintain that sense of peace. I wanted to stay in that sense of peace as much as possible. Uh, and sometimes, of course, I wanted to know more, be someone that I can talk about. So create another self-image, another conceptual self. But then I kind of received this saying that you will know when it is time. So it's not really, you are not really waiting, you are more flowing, but you are also not resisting whatever that is happening right now. To move forward in this stage, I don't think anything can help more than being present, because when you are present, you stop searching for that future version of yourself. You start noticing that your true self is already here underneath everything that happened to you in life. Then every breath, every heartbeat reminds you that you are still alive and you are still connected to something real within you. When you are present more and more, you realize that you really weren't that concept or that image that you had created of yourself based on what happened to you in life. What happened to you in life got you distracted from your true self, got you a little disconnected from who you really are. But now again, you are rediscovering who you are. And that's being human. Being human is going through all the lows and highs, going through all the difficulties and bounce backs, through all the joy and all the mess, and then again rediscovering yourself. And as you go through this process, as you go through going through this stage, you start to feel more like yourself. You start to enjoy more your own company. You naturally become more loving and kind toward yourself. And I hope this video helped you shift a little further toward your true self and helped you see that you are already on the path of rediscovering your true self.